Shalom Aleichem, a good night of Shabbos. It's Parshas Vayiro, Tov Pei Dalid. But it's the Shabbos also before Yud Shevat, which is next Shabbos. The Yom HaKodesh V'Agodol, the anniversary passing of the previous Rebbe, the day in which our Rebbe became the Rebbe a year later in 1951. And in conjunction to the previous videos that I've made this week about the 770 debacle fiasco and whatever else, I don't want to repeat it. And just to add a few nekudas, 770, as I said, is a holy place, a heilige Platz. It's very worthwhile to go in, to say Kapitel Tilim, to daven a minyan, with a minyan there. Even to walk in the building is a good thing. It's a holy place. And that will never be removed. No one can take that away because it's spiritual. So, in 1985, 39 years ago, after my wife and I were sent by the Rebbe to Marin County, California, Shlichus, I came back for Yud Shevat. I think it was the first time since I left Crown Heights to go on Shlichus that I came back to recharge the batteries. It was Yud Shevat Tovshin Mem Hey, 1985. And lo and behold, I met there my officiating rabbi, which was Rabbi Yitzchak Groner of Australia. My wife's from Australia. And I married there. And I met him. And we said, Shalom Aleichem. And I don't know how it became part of the conversation, but I asked him about the previous Rebbe, whose yahrzeit we were celebrating that night with Kaddish and Ma'ariv, if, what was his knowledge of Nigla, of Talmud. And Rabbi Groner was very, very adamant that the Frierdiker Rebbe was a tremendous Talmud Chacham, not just in Chassidus, and not just in Mishnah, and not just in Medrash, but in Gemara as well. And he told me several stories. So that's something that I remind myself of, and that happened on a bench in 770. So here it is, in the middle of a weekday, before the Rebbe came into the Beis Medrash to lead the Ma'ariv and to say Kaddish for his father-in-law, the previous Rebbe's yahrzeit it was. Rabbi Groner and I were talking there, and talking about that, and that happened in 770. Another time, I forget if maybe it was the same Yud Shevat or another time, but also in the 1980s, my Mashpia Rabbi Yoel Khan met me. I think it was the same time. It was because he hadn't seen me since I left, and he gave me a broad Shalom Aleichem with a great smile. But as soon as he saw the way my kapota was, or my jacket, maybe it was my jacket I was wearing then, with my gartel, it was left over right. First he went, "Nu." After the smile and the Shalom Aleichem, the first thing he said was "Nu," and very sternly. And I wasn't like him, So I asked Rabbi Yoel, what did I do wrong? So he says, Yimin al Smoil. My button was left on right. That happened standing there amongst thousands of people waiting for the Rebbe to come in as well. I share this because we're coming to Yud Shevat. I hope and pray and request that everyone, Lubavitchers and not Lubavitchers, step into 770 around Yud Shevat time. In addition, those that can go to the Ohel, go to the Ohel. Those that can't and can send a letter, do that. But make Yud Shevat part of your reality. And this is the best way to show that nothing can touch the walls of 770. All of this that happened, and a lot of it was just blown up, taken out of proportion by the media. Someone came over to me to shul today, and he says that the New York Post said that Chabad hired migrants to do the work of restoring the sand, the earth under the building, to shore up the building, to make sure it's safe and all that. Nicht gesteigen and nicht geflogen. That means Baba Mises, baloney, conspiracy theories. What we need to focus on is that we have here the central holy building shul of 770, the house of Lubavitch, and it's alive and well. The fact that there are differences until Mashiach come, there'll be differences. And guess what? Even after Mashiach will come, there'll be differences. But then the differences won't lead to argumentation and divisiveness. So we now, especially those that wish to live in the Mashiach mindset and frame, which we all should, practice that. Get rid of the divisiveness. Get rid of the machlekes. Get rid of my way is the only way, or go to the highway. Stop. And Baruch Hashem, I report again that the shul's opening Shabbos, and everything will be the way it was. No one's being deported as of now. Hopefully that these youngsters that were involved in this issue will do tshuva and will stop their ways. And the greater picture, which we spoke about earlier this week, about the leadership and educators and institutions that support radicalism in any way, fanaticism, will realize that this doesn't lead to a good path, and we will somehow mellow out, or as they say today, chill out. We will find a way to communicate the same idea of believing in Mashiach and living with Mashiach and everything else in a peaceful way. And that will be part of the expansion of 770, which it's already starting. People are taking it much more seriously. So Baruch Hashem, we're going into Shevat. We have a whole week to prepare ourselves, and we're going in with positivity. The temporary negativity that we experienced early in the week was a springboard for something much healthier and better. And we ask that all those that wrote to me and commented, and some were pretty nasty, but we can handle it. It's all right. Take another good look. Take another good look at Lubavitch, at Chabad. Start learning Chabad Chassidus. Join one of my classes, one of my YouTube classes. Read one of my books. I think you'll see another side of Chabad, the true side of Chabad, the authentic side of Chabad, the side of Chabad that is peaceful, that is emes, that is Teiredik, that is Messiah. And there's no question that the togetherness of Am Yisrael, Chassidim, Litvaks, Svardim, not yet Frum, Lahavdil, even Goyim will come to realize that we are a peaceful, wholesome nation, all of us. And it can only begin if we teach this to our children. Don't teach your children to hate anyone. Don't teach your children to stay away from Chabad. It's wrong. That itself is divisive. You could say that we don't agree with this and we don't agree with that. However, Chabad Lubavitch is Kodesh, is holy. The Rabbeim are tzaddikim, and they continue today, each and every one of them, like every other tzaddik was passed on and continues giving their flock and all those that wish to take from them goodness, happiness, kindness, brachas, and just go to the Ohel. You don't have to believe me. Just go to the Ohel anytime, 24/7, and you'll see peoples of all kinds that come there. Why are they coming there? Why are they coming there? Because they know that the Rebbe and the Frierdiker Rebbe are being mashpia, are giving over brachas to everyone with what their needs are. So encourage your students, encourage your children and your grandchildren to take part in this. And it's right here near JFK in Queens, not far from Muncie and Williamsburg and Monroe and Staten Island and Borough Park and Flatbush. It's all over. It's for everybody. Chaim, have a great Shabbos. Mashiach should come now with simcha and only good things to report. Shalom.